We're going to go over diaphragm range of motion and talk a little bit about how the diaphragm works. It is a flat, domed muscle that lives inside of your rib cage. Okay, so it kind of expands all the way in here. Your lungs are above it. The rest of your internal organs are below it. So the diaphragm itself, when it's in its resting position, it's domed a little bit. With a good contraction in a deep breath, what happens is that diaphragm will actually drop down. When it does that, it kind of creates a suction for air to come in into the lungs to kind of fill up the lobe of the lungs. Okay, so inhale, it drops down, and then as you can imagine, as it drops down, it's kind of distributing pressure down, okay? And the pelvic floor is going to respond by lengthening, okay? So everything kind of shifts down together. Pelvic floor lengthens, diaphragm drops. Okay, so that's on an inhale. On an exhale, without a forceful exhale, we just kind of let the air fall out of you. The diaphragm's gonna return into like more of a resting position, okay? So this is the diaphragm relaxed. On an inhale, the diaphragm contracts, okay? Diaphragm contracts, pelvic floor lengthens, okay? On the exhale, diaphragm domes, pelvic floor resumes its natural position. Okay, so I want you to think about the system like a piston. It moves up and down, okay? So this is what a lot of people get wrong, is they don't have this coordination down. So when you're working on your inhales, you want to think about just increasing, letting that pressure move down into your pelvic floor and feeling the pelvic floor actually accept that pressure. And then on that exhale, when the air falls out, you just want to let that pelvic floor resume its natural resting position. So on a forced exhale, the pelvic floor contracts, the abdomen contracts, and that diaphragm is going to dome even more in order to help that pressure lift back up, okay? So again, inhale, diaphragm contracts, causes the pelvic floor to lengthen, so everything moves down. On the exhale, pelvic floor kind of lifts up a little bit, diaphragm domes, the whole system moves up. A forced exhale, pelvic floor contracts, abdomen lifts in, diaphragm domes more.